So whether it's AI, whether it's digital technology, any future technology that will solve problems for mankind, I think we need to commit to ourselves to make that happen. Thank you very much. It's not a bit of a sore throat. I was in the Arctic Circle whole of last week, and moving from -2 to 30 in Pune's lovely weather at this point of time didn't do very good. So my throat has gone on strike. But today it's recovered because the throat also realized that this is a very important event. So let me not be very elaborate, but let me make 3 points. First of all, I think we are talking in the intersection of Bharat, which is what we all aspire, that we will be a Viksit Bharat in 2047. The second is, of course, we are talking at a time when everybody's company, everybody's name itself will, today if your name is Ratna, tomorrow you will call it Ratna.ai. AI seems to be a suffix or a prefix to everything that is going on nowadays. And the third, of course, is education. I mean, this morning I was listening to, I think, one of the politicians who said that whatever happens in the coming section of parliament, we must make sure that we fix all that ails our education system. And we were having a discussion, Rajan and Professor Maitri and me, just before we started, saying how much more needs to be done. I have a few points in this. First is India. India always worries us. India always frustrates us. But India never ceases to delight us. I remember our first Pradhan Mantri, Sri Jawaharlal Nehru, in his very famous 15th August speech, he talked about a tryst with destiny. And that destiny is clearly something that we've been moving towards inexorably over the last many years. And I think that destiny still waits to be realized. I still remember 2008, I was the chairman of NASSCOM, which is the industry's premier information technology body. And I was in Wall Street in the US. And that was the time, if you remember, 2008 was a subprime crisis. The whole world was collapsing. Everybody was saying, how much will we decline this year? And somebody asked me that, look, your great IT industry, which has been growing 12, 13% every year, how much do you think will be the decline because of the subprime crisis? And I remember I stood up and took my neck out and said, at the very minimum, we will continue to grow at 4% this year. Nobody believed me. We grew 4.8%. So I'm saying there is a sense of confidence. There is a sense of exuberance, and not irrational exuberance, that takes us forward. And I am 100% sure, ladies and gentlemen, having dabbled in both education and philanthropy, and of course in the corporate sector for the last 40 years of my life, that we will meet that tryst with destiny. It has to be done. And whether that is Prime Minister Modi's Viksit Bharat, it's something beyond that, we'll make it happen. Second on technology, I'm delighted, Hemant, that Digi is doing such pioneering work in introducing technology at a very platform level to educational institutions in this country. Because it's absolutely required. Because there is no way we can continue to work the old-fashioned way, and we have to ensure that technology is enabling us everywhere. I mean, I'm doing a session on AI tomorrow morning at the Maratha Chamber of Commerce, and we're going to primarily talk about how AI is transforming many sectors, including education. And I would strongly recommend that if you look at the progress of technology, AI is not new, by the way. AI was called, in a smaller little brother format, business intelligence, 15 years ago when I was running Zensar. And we built a big business around business intelligence, analytics, enabling people to predict, prescribe, and actually make new things happen. And thanks to machine learning, thanks to very big investments by people like Anthropic and OpenAI, etc., and of course, what they call the superscalers, Microsoft, Oracle, etc., AI is becoming a huge thing. And there is a worry amongst many people, including in the tech community, that India is being left a little bit behind in AI. And I think there is an opportunity for educational institutions, research establishments, to really put our heads together and say, what does AI mean to us? Are we going to be the third player after China and America in large language models, the LLMs as we call it, foundational AI? Or will we say that we will make AI work for every citizen of this country? I mean, what my friend Nandan Nilekani calls AI diffusion. And we shouldn't just be happy with that. But we should say we'll keep inventing new models, new ideas, many of which will come out of your incubation centers, of the education system in this country, and make that happen. So whether it's AI, whether it's digital technology, any future technology that will solve problems for mankind, I think we need to commit to ourselves to make that happen. Last but not the least, education. I grew up in a little village called Tryst, which is 10 kilometers from Ranchi in Jharkhand. Those days it used to be Bihar. And I still remember I did my first TED talk 20 years back in San Francisco. And the topic I chose was Funtush and the Beanstalk. Why Funtush and the Beanstalk? Funtush was my best friend for 10 years, right through school, because we were a little village kid, had very little education. I mean, the school he went to was hardly a school. It was more of a punishment center for people coming and doing things. So very sad. I've been to that school. There are many schools like that even today. But the difference between Funtush and me was, thanks to my parents, thanks to some wisdom, my father gave me a beanstalk called education. And the school I went to was not great. It was a typical Christian missionary school. But it still gave me enough knowledge and enough capability to feel confident about myself. And I think in education, we always find some secret sauce that makes it useful for our students to learn and to come and participate. After my initial Indian school certificate, I went on to do my mechanical engineering, industrial engineering, PhD in IIT Bombay in knowledge management, and then Harvard Business School. And for me, education has been a constant thread in what happens. And I was speaking at the 100th year centennial of Harvard Business School, and naturally they asked me that, look, you've been through so many academic institutions. Which one is your favorite and which one do you think really changed your life? Political wisdom would have said, say Harvard Business School. Everybody will clap. But I said BIT Mesra in Ranchi. And they said, what the heck is this place? So I told them that, look, when you go to an institution when you're 16 and you're there till you're 21, 5-year engineering course in those days, that shapes your life. And most of you, ladies and gentlemen, are running those kind of institutions. But you're taking truly young people. My friend Vidya is doing such amazing work in Symbiosis. Professor Maitri is doing such amazing work in IIM Nagpur. And you're shaping the minds of future generations of leaders. And I'm sure that 10 years later, you look back on many of your students and feel proud that you were there to make this change happen. So all the best in your endeavors. Thank you very much.